Rev up your engines!
Hornet Killer Force says, Scotty, have you ever been injured while working on a car? Well, cuts and bruises sure all the time, but I'm always wearing my strong sunglasses. These are glass lenses, they're real strong. So I haven't had any major problems. The only big thing that ever happened to me was I was dumb. I was working on a clutch and I was pulling the transmission off and it slipped off the jack and I put my hand under it to stop it. Well, the transmission landed on my finger and squashed it. Man, it was swollen up for weeks. It hurt like mad. And I can still feel it when it's going to rain, you know, I got like a weather finger. So my advice is, if you're working and you see something heavy falling, just get out of the way. Don't try to catch it. I learned my lesson on that one. Something random asked Scotty, what's your opinion on a car using laminated glass on every window? Is the safety risk worth the benefits? Yeah, I think it is, really. Here's the thing. What a lot of people don't understand. Originally, all the glasses were laminated except for the rear window. It was safer if you get in wrecks, you know? It's just the way. The glass isn't going to come in and cut you. It's going to stay just like the windshield. But then, a long time ago, they decided, let's save some money and make cars cheaper. So they changed the law in the United States for the safety for the side windows. They kept the front windscreen the same. It had to be laminated. But they changed it that they could use the cheaper safety glass in the side that you hit them, it doesn't break off in sheets, it shatters into little pieces. But they changed the law to allow it, and then they made them that way. And now there's some people are going back to laminated glass because, yes, it actually is better for the people inside, and your car's structurally stronger, too, if you get in a wreck. Of course, if the door's jammed and you can't get out, it's very hard to break them, too. That's the trade-off. But safety-wise, really, I think it's safer to have laminated glass because it's structurally stronger if the car rolls over and does stuff, and then people can't just come up to your car with a hammer and go bang and bash the window and steal everything inside. If they know it's laminated glass, they hit it, they can't break it, and they walk away. So I like the idea. It costs more money to make them, though. But they all originally were made that way. Ankles X says, Scotty, I've been looking to sell my '03 Ford Focus and using some of the money to buy a '92 Mazda Miata. Is a good choice. I want to have fun with the car, and I feel a Miata would be great. Yeah, those Miatas were fun little sports cars. Smart thing to get rid of that Focus. It's 16 years old, and generally they always turn into money pits by then. If they haven't, they soon will. The Mazda Miatas were cute little sports cars. You can have fun with them. One thing, though, do not buy a Mazda Miata with an automatic transmission. From back in those days, they were terrible. They were junk. They're no fun to drive. But if you get one with a standard transmission, they're fun. I have plenty of customers have those older ones, and they have a riot with the thing. And they're usually not all that expensive either, because they sold a whole bunch of them. And so there's a lot of them out there for sale. They can be fun. That sounds like a smart idea to me. PTRL says, Scotty, can I remove a muffler on the 98 Volvo S70? I don't know. I don't know how capable you are. If you can take it off and remove it. But if you do, it's going to make all kinds of noise, and eventually it won't run right because the computer in the car will be confused by the information that it gets about the flow of the exhaust, and it's probably going to mess up your catalytic converter system because it's going to flow too fast. And it really isn't going to make it run any better anyways, because the little restriction that's on the muffler isn't all that much. The restriction on the catalytic converter usually is more than what the muffler's doing. And if you're leaving that on, you know, what's the point? But if you live in an area like Montana or something that doesn't do any kind of emissions testing, you can really do whatever you want and then drive it around, but they're generally not going to run right when you do. The Armref says, Scotty, what's your opinion on standard transmission Volvos, especially the fast ones? Well, they're fine cars. The big downfall of the later model Volvos were their automatic transmissions were crappy and cost a fortune to repair when they went out. They were not cheap vehicles to repair, and they weren't as dependable. But the standard transmission ones, I've never seen a standard transmission go out on any of those Volvos. They're really strong, well-built ones. And the faster Volvos, yeah, you know, they were zippy cars to go around it. Yeah, here in the United States, Volvos generally turned in to more yuppie cars where the soccer moms wanted them, so they were all automatic transmissions with all the bells and whistles. But their fast ones with standard transmissions, hey, they were fun to drive, zippy, and they held up pretty well. Of course, now the Chinese own Volvo, and they claim they're only going to be making hybrid and electric cars in the near future, so you can pass all that, though. That'll be a thing of the past. They won't be making those anymore.
So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.